Okay, quick little run through on the VHL site. When you're coming in as a student, this is my pretend student page. You just click on the book and wait forever for it to load. Oh, it says we have stuff overdue. So when you click start, it's going to start you with the context on the first day of the chapter. And the first activity is always going to be the vocab presentation. Right? And you'll be able to see your activities up here and what section they go with. So the context or the vocabulary, structure or structures, grammar. Right? The first one is always going to be the grammar presentation. And the second one will usually be a tutorial, or the third one. Depends on how many presentations they want to have first. Right? So there's two presentations and two tutorials, and then they're going to start your activities. While you're in this list, you can skip around. Say, I don't want to do the vocab. I looked at it. If you click on it, it'll read the text that you see on the page in the book. But you can skip around. So say I want to start the structure. Now the presentation is just the pages that you're supposed to read from the book. Whereas the tutorial, and you'll see, now that I've opened it, it's got a little check mark, the same for my vocab presentation. Once that check mark's there, it assumes you're all done with this page. So when you leave, it's not going to bring it back. The same for the tutorials. Now these are the videos. If you click on it and go, oh, that's nice, I'm going to come back later. I need to run to class, or I need to go to work, or whatever is going on, and you come back later. So let's see, I'm going to leave here. Listen, you, stop. On mine, I can just click on the espace and it takes me back to the dashboard. But I guess you guys have to actually click on Return to Dashboard. So if I were to refresh and start over, it thinks I've finished those 3 activities that I've already clicked on. Because they're just presentations, they're just stuff for you to watch. There isn't anything for you to submit. So when you click on those presentations and tutorials, you want to go through them right then. Don't click on them and come back. Because if I restart my activities, oh, the vocab one stays. But you'll notice I now only have 1 grammar presentation. I don't have 2. And let's see, tutorial. So because I didn't finish watching the video, the tutorial's still there. Now say I start an activity. Maybe. Here we go. Loading, loading, loading. So I'm looking at this going, l'apostrophe lay, whatever that means. You're going, I have no idea. What do I do? There's links here at the top of the activity where you can get back into the presentation and you can get back into the tutorial that have to do with this activity, so that if you don't remember or they disappeared and you need to watch them again, or you didn't really look at them the first time, you can still get back into them fairly easily right here. The other thing that you can do is in the dashboard, loading, loading, loading. Hopefully your computer will go faster than mine. But from the dashboard, you can manually look through the activities rather than relying on that bar at the top. And what you do is you come to Content and you come to Activities. You'll also have a few little quizzes, right? They're under Assessments. And usually those are due later in the chapter, so they won't be due the first day of the chapter or the second day. They're usually due like the 3rd day or with the chapter exams. So under Activities, I come And since we're starting units 1 through 3, it's always going to default Unit 1, Lesson 1A. Now, if you don't want that, there's a navigation bar at the top that you can quickly change your unit or change just the lesson and get into the lesson that you want to look at. And I know it says it's overdue and it'll tell you it's late. Just ignore that because we haven't passed the makeup date yet. Once the makeup date is passed, the homework will automatically deduct 10% per day from your grade. So you can still turn them in late and still get some points. Wow, taking a very long time today. I'm going to pause this while it loads. So, you'll see it automatically showed up Unit 1, Lesson 1A, which would be the first set of homework that was due last night. Now here you have the presentation, and it says I viewed it. If I want to view it again, I can just click on it. And it will take me back to the presentation page. If I want to look at these are the activities that are due, these are the due dates, you'll say, why do I have stuff due in October? Those are activities I've saved for final exam review. And the activities that are due the 29th are the chapter exam review activities. So you want to finish all the activities here before you take the test on Blackboard. But you can get into any of them just by clicking here. If you want to change the section, so under Espace Contexte, they have the leçons et les lettres. Or if you need to get into the structure, maybe, loading. I should have some nice elevator music to play while it loads. I don't have anything like that right now, but wow. Okay. Weird. So you'll notice that the structure is separated into two, a point 1 and a point 2. So this will be the first set and the activities that go with it. And then there's a second set. And you'll notice those tutorials and the presentations were shifted to the front. So you got all of them first. And they didn't actually come, the point 1 presentation and tutorial, and then all the point 1 activities, and then the point 2 presentation and tutorial, and then all the point 2 activities. They put all of the presentations and tutorials first. So especially if you get into a set where you couldn't finish today, and you want to break it up into pieces. You don't want to do everything all in one day. It's going to be better for you if you can break it down so that you do a few activities today and a few activities tomorrow and a few activities the next day. That way the repetition and the practice will help reinforce everything. But if you need to, if you're in an activity and you're like, oh, I watched those presentations and tutorials, but I don't remember what they said, you can just click here. And they'll load in a new window so that you can watch them again, or for the first time if you happen to have skipped it for whatever reason. Alright, if you want to look at your grades, you can do the summary. It'll give you your overall summary. If you want the details, you can look at the actual grade center and see, oh, I want lesson 1A, context, maybe structure. How many of these things have I done? I know they say they're late, just, like I said, ignore them until the actual makeup day has passed, and then they will really be late. Even if it takes me a few days past the makeup day to go and accept everything that wasn't late, it won't be counted against you until after the makeup date is finished. If you need to change sections, you just change sections. You'll notice all the A sections were listed first, and all the B sections are listed later. Kind of screwy, but... Huh, that's interesting. I don't know why there's nothing showing. There's lots of homework for that. But this is how you navigate this. So you can look at a week, you can look at the category, you can look at a day, you can look by lesson. There's all kinds of ways to filter your grade. You can also look by calendar. You can say, oh, I want to look at the 29 activities that are due today or last night. And it'll start you on the next activity. Oh, they did keep them. They used to always go away. And now they've started, oh, because I'm on the calendar list, that's why. When you're on the activity list, the first list that I started on, once you finish the activities, if you come back to that list later, the activities won't show on the list anymore. But if you look at the list from the calendar, it'll show you all of the activities all the time. That way, if you want to jump back into the presentation, it's really easy to jump back into the presentation. Alright, I think that, so you'll see there's the little grammar quizzes and stuff. So you want to finish all those before you take the test. That way you're sure to work out any last minute questions before you take the test. So don't wait to do these until Monday. Do these a couple of days ahead of time so that you have time to ask me questions and I have time to get back to you before you need to start taking your test Monday. Now you can take the test also earlier this weekend. But you don't have to. You can wait till Monday or you can take it earlier. But try to do this homework a couple of days ahead of time. That way if you have any questions or issues about any of the materials, I have time to get back to you before you take the test and not after you take the test when my answers won't help you any. Alright, I think that's about it.